the sacred path of discovery. My dear brothers and sisters, I invite you today on a journey of profound reflection and spiritual awakening. We are about to explore an ancient text, one that has remained hidden from the eyes of many for over 2 millennia. This book, though excluded from the Holy Scriptures, carries within its secrets so powerful, so profound, that even the wisest among us approach it with reverence and caution. It is known by many as the Book of Enoch, and though it has been forgotten by most, it still holds a place in the hearts of those who seek the truth, who hunger for knowledge of the divine and the mysteries of the cosmos. Today, let us look beyond the veil of history and discover what lies within this sacred text. The Book of Enoch, a revelation of hidden truths. The Book of Enoch is not merely an ancient relic, it is a testimony of the divine mysteries that stretch beyond human understanding. It was once regarded as sacred, and for good reason. This book, not included in the Bible, shares prophecies and warnings and speaks of truths that were once hidden from humanity. It tells of fallen angels, beings who were once in the presence of God but chose to rebel and descend to earth. These angels, whom we now call the Watchers, came to teach mankind. They imparted wisdom that was never meant to be shared, secrets of the universe, of creation, and even of powers beyond our mortal comprehension. These were not mere teachings of wisdom, they were secrets that could change the very fabric of human existence. But with this gift of forbidden knowledge came great consequences. The Watchers, in their act of defiance, were punished by the divine. They were cast into the abyss, their knowledge silenced by the very forces that had once granted them power. And so, the Book of Enoch remained hidden, excluded from the Bible, its teachings left to gather dust in the shadows of history. Yet, my dear friends, is it not the case that hidden truths often carry the deepest lessons? Could it be that these teachings, while dangerous in their time, still carry a message for us today? Could the wisdom of the Watchers and the warnings embedded in their actions hold the key to understanding our present and our future? The Fall of the Watchers, a cautionary tale. In the Book of Enoch, we are told of the Watchers, angels sent to guide humanity. They were not gods, nor were they meant to lead humanity. Yet, they took it upon themselves to impart knowledge that was not theirs to give. They shared secrets of magic, of warfare, and of knowledge that humans were not prepared to understand. This was not a gift, but a curse, for the knowledge they bestowed upon mankind led to chaos and destruction. Imagine for a moment the world as it was before the descent of these beings. A world innocent, untainted by the complexities of divine knowledge. The human heart, unburdened by the heavy weight of the truths they shared, lived in simplicity. Yet, the Watchers came down from heaven, bringing with them powers that mankind had never known. They taught humanity to forge weapons of war, to harness the forces of nature, to wield the power of the heavens themselves. In their teachings, they introduced powers that were beyond human understanding. Powers that, if used wrongly, could lead to the destruction of entire civilizations. And so, humanity found itself at a crossroads. Would it embrace these powers, or would it reject them as the divine intended? The Nephilim, a legacy of destruction. From the union of the Watchers and humanity came the Nephilim, giant beings, born of angels and humans. Their existence was a symbol of the extraordinary power these angels brought to earth. But their presence was not a blessing, it was a curse. These giants were powerful, yes, but they were also destructive. Their very existence forced humanity to confront the supernatural, to grapple with the unimaginable. As the Nephilim roamed the earth, they brought with them an era of turmoil. War, bloodshed, and destruction became commonplace. The teachings of the Watchers had created a world on the brink of collapse. And so, humanity was left to wrestle with the consequences of its actions. Actions that were set in motion by the very beings sent to guide them. But as the Watchers witnessed the devastation they had wrought, they began to see the error of their ways. They realized that their interference had not been a gift to humanity, but a warning. Their knowledge had the power to destroy everything in its wake, and the world they had created was teetering on the edge of annihilation. The prophecies of Enoch, a warning for the future. And now, my dear friends, we turn our attention to the prophecies found within the Book of Enoch. These prophecies are not mere words, they are divine warnings. They speak of the future of humanity and the consequences of our actions. The angels who once descended to earth, in their wisdom and folly, left behind a message. A message about the destruction of civilizations, the fall of nations, and the extinction of humanity itself. The Book of Enoch does not merely tell of ancient events, it warns of future ones. It speaks of a time when humanity, if it continues down its current path, will face the consequences of its own self-destruction. The end of the world, as we know it, may not be some distant event, but a fate that is already unfolding before our eyes. The truth, as the Book of Enoch reveals, is that we may be walking down a path of destruction, a path that we have the power to change, but only if we choose to heed the warnings from the past. The call to awaken, a path to redemption. But, my dear friends, do not despair, for even in the darkest of times, there is always hope. The Book of Enoch is not merely a tale of destruction. It is a call to awaken, a call to rise above the chaos and find the light that still shines within us. Just as the Watchers brought destruction to the world, they also brought a message that we, as a people, have the power to change our destiny. We may not be able to undo the past, but we can shape the future. We can choose to learn from the mistakes of those who came before us and build a world that is grounded in wisdom, compassion, and faith. The journey of humanity is not over. It is still unfolding. And it is up to each of us to decide how we will walk this path. Will we continue in ignorance, or will we open our hearts to the truth that lies hidden before us? Conclusion: embrace the journey of discovery. In closing, my dear friends, I invite you to embrace this journey of discovery. The secrets of the Book of Enoch are not merely ancient tales. They are timeless lessons that can shape our present and our future. Let us seek the truth, not with fear, but with courage and humility. And let us walk together in faith as we uncover the mysteries of the universe and the divine wisdom that has been hidden from us for so long. May we be ever watchful, ever seeking, and ever faithful. For the journey of discovery is not just about finding answers. It is about understanding ourselves, our place in the universe, and the divine plan that has been set before us. The divine lessons of the Book of Enoch, a timeless truth. My dear brothers and sisters, as we continue our journey, let us delve deeper into the lessons of the Book of Enoch. It is not merely an ancient text. It is a mirror reflecting the choices and consequences of humanity. The actions of the Watchers, those fallen angels who came to Earth, are not just a story of the past. No, my beloved, they are a timeless warning for us today. The world that the Watchers created was one of immense power, but also immense peril. They gave humanity knowledge, but that knowledge was a double-edged sword. On the one hand, it illuminated the path to understanding the cosmos, the divine forces at work, and the deepest secrets of nature. On the other hand, it carried within it the seeds of destruction. The very gifts that the Watchers shared, magic, warfare, and forbidden knowledge, became tools that led humanity to the brink of chaos. In their desire to teach, the Watchers failed to see the full consequences of their actions. They were well-intentioned, perhaps, but in their arrogance, they underestimated the fragility of humanity. For without wisdom, knowledge is a dangerous force, and without restraint, power is a destructive force. This is a lesson that we must take to heart, my beloved. It is a lesson that is as relevant today as it was in ancient times. The consequences of knowledge, a path to self-destruction. As the Watchers imparted their wisdom, they did not foresee the consequences of such a dangerous gift. Humanity, once innocent and untainted by the complexities of divine knowledge, was thrust into a world of turmoil. The Nephilim, born of the union of angels and humans, embodied the very essence of that chaos. They were beings of immense power, but they were also beings who embodied destruction. These giants were not simply a product of nature, they were the result of an unnatural union between the divine and the human, and their existence changed the very fabric of society. The world was no longer a place of simplicity and peace, but one of war, conflict, and moral decay. The knowledge the Watchers imparted had awakened in humanity the potential for great power, but it also awakened something darker, the potential for great destruction. What then are the lessons for us today, my beloved? The same forces that led to the fall of the Watchers are at work in our world today. We live in a time of unprecedented knowledge and power. We have unlocked the secrets of nature, of the universe, and of ourselves. But with this knowledge comes a great responsibility. For as we have learned, knowledge without wisdom is a dangerous thing. Power without restraint is a destructive thing. We must ask ourselves, my dear brothers and sisters, are we any wiser than the Watchers? Have we learned the lessons of the past? Or are we, like them, on the brink of repeating the same mistakes that led to the downfall of ancient civilizations? The prophecies of the Book of Enoch, a warning for all generations. The Book of Enoch speaks not just of the past, but of the future. The prophecies contained within it are not mere words, they are warnings. They speak of the end of the world, the collapse of civilizations, and the extinction of humanity itself. These are not idle threats, my dear friends, they are prophecies that have been set in motion. As we look at our world today, it is impossible to ignore the signs. We live in a time of division, of conflict, and of uncertainty. Nations are at war, the environment is in peril, and the very fabric of society is fraying at the edges. The signs of the times are all around us, and they echo the warnings found in the Book of Enoch. But these prophecies are not meant to cause fear, they are meant to inspire action. The Book of Enoch reminds us that the fate of humanity is not set in stone. It is not too late to change our course. We have the power, just as those who came before us had the power, to shape our destiny. But we must first recognize the dangers we face and turn away from the path of self-destruction. The message of redemption, hope in the darkness. And yet, my dear friends, there is hope. The Book of Enoch is not just a book of destruction, it is a book of redemption. It is a call to rise, to awaken, and to change. Yes, the Watchers brought chaos to the world, but they also left behind a message. We, humanity, have the power to overcome our trials. The key to redemption lies within us if we are willing to listen and learn. Even in the darkest times, there is a light. Even in the most dire of circumstances, there is hope. The divine wisdom that has been passed down through the ages reminds us that we are not destined for destruction, we are destined for salvation. But we must be willing to embrace that hope, to open our hearts to the divine wisdom that has always been with us. And so, my dear brothers and sisters, I ask you, are you ready to embrace this journey? Are you ready to face the truth, no matter how difficult it may be? Are you willing to listen to the warnings of the Book of Enoch and change the course of your life? A final call, a path to the future. As we reach the end of this journey, I call upon you, my beloved, to take the lessons of the Book of Enoch to heart. The challenges we face today are not new. They are the same challenges that humanity has faced for millennia. The dangers of unchecked power, the temptations of forbidden knowledge, and the consequences of turning away from the divine. These are the same forces that led to the fall of the Watchers. But we are not doomed to repeat their mistakes. We are not bound by the same fate. The Book of Enoch offers us a choice to rise above our weaknesses, to learn from the past, and to build a future grounded in wisdom and truth. The door to redemption is open, my dear friends. Will we walk through it, or will we turn away? The choice is ours. But remember this, we are not alone on this journey. We walk together as one people, seeking the truth and the light. May we have the courage to embrace the lessons of the Book of Enoch and to change our lives for the better. May we have the wisdom to heed its warnings and the strength to live according to its teachings. And may we, together, walk the path of redemption and hope. Conclusion, the call to action. As we conclude, let us remember that the secrets of the Book of Enoch are not just ancient tales. They are eternal truths that have been passed down through the ages. These truths are not just for those who lived long ago. They are for us, here and now. Let us not ignore the lessons of the past. Let us heed the warnings, embrace the wisdom, and change the course of our future. The door is open, and the light is waiting for us. Will we walk through it together,